And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by The Pint, Vancouver's favorite sports bar at 455 Abbott Street and online at vancouver.thepint.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
What do you remember about the first concert that you went to? What are the things that stand out? My first was Dr. Hook. It was 1981. 8 years old in Kitimat, BC. It was at the local arena, and it was a game changer. My mom always played them on our record player, so to see them live blew my mind. I remember the excitement, mostly, of piling into the car, my mom, my stepdad Alex, my brother Steve, driving to the arena, parking in the grocery store parking lot, a lot of people walking to the arena. The energy of the crowd was palpable. The smell of popcorn walking into the building, I remember that. The first chords of Dr. Hook, Sylvia's Mother, cover of the Rolling Stone, Only 16. They ripped through all these songs that I'd heard so many times at my house. And from that moment on, without realizing it, I guess, at the time, that show helped me travel down my career path. Anything to do with music and content creation, basically, count me in. This week, you'll hear from 12 past podcast guests and their first concert experiences, including Bellator fighter Benson Henderson, Carmelita Jeter, the fastest woman alive, astronaut Commander Chris Hadfield, Ed the Sock, and a lot more. When Alice in Chains singer William Duvall was a guest, it was partially to promote his project Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, which features members of Mastodon, the Dillinger Escape Plan, Mars Volta, and Death Clock. Pretty awesome combination.
My first concert, my mother would take me to things at the Carter Barron Amphitheater in D.C., things like The Temptations and Melba Moore on a double bill, some of that. Yeah. Real great, R&B gigs. And, she would also take me to see, Shakespeare plays and stuff like that. But I think the first concerts I remember where it was all about stuff I wanted to see were things like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Funkadelic, Sam and Graham Central Station. That was a big one. And then, later, a little bit later, around the time of, Van Halen coming out with Fair Warning, that album Fair Warning, and AC/DC coming out with Back in Black, and For Those About to Rock. Around then, I started going to see those bands. I saw Van Halen on the Fair Warning tour. I saw AC/DC on the For Those About to Rock tour.
Would you have guessed that between 1995 and 2016, Biff Naked was among the top 150 selling Canadian artists in Canada? Pretty much most rock stations in Canada play her music. You've seen her in a smattering of music videos as well, like The Offspring's The Kids Aren't All Right, Moist's Silver, Simple Plan, Save You. Check out Biff's first concert.
That would be the Power Slave tour of Iron Maiden.
What?
With Twisted Sister opening. It was at the Winnipeg Arena. It was 1984, I believe. I took my little sister.
Okay.
She was 10 years old. I was trying to get her to smoke cigarettes with me. She wouldn't. I was very upset with her for not smoking cigarettes. And, Dee Snider spit on us.
Huntington Beach, California band Dirty Heads have been around since 2008 when they released their debut, Any Port in a Storm. Their latest, you heard Super Moon, released in August of last year. As a big fan of the band, it was great to talk to their singer, Dirty J.
Speaking of which, Bob Marley Day in Long Beach in 1996 or 7. It was my first concert. I don't know how old I was. Really 15 or something like that. And I got really high and sat in the back, and I think I had to leave. I just got way too high. And it was really weird because it was all dance hall, real gangster dance hall, though, Beanie Man and shit like that. And it wasn't what I thought. I was like, Bob Marley Day. We're going to go see a bunch of Roots and Israel Vibrations and all this shit. And we had gone on the wrong day. And it was all super gangster dance hall shit. And I was just oh, this sucks. And I was way too high. And I fell asleep in the back of my seat. And then, so that was kind of shitty. And then John, our percussion player, took me to go see Tool because we're both big Tool fans at Staples Center. and then I've gone, to one or other concerts with my wife, but I've actually only gone as a fan to those like 4 shows.
And in 1984, drummer Troy Luccketta joined a band called City Kid. It's a band you would eventually know as Tesla. If you're talking about 80s rock bands and influential rock albums, you'd better include their albums Mechanical Resonance, The Great Radio Controversy, Psychotic Supper.
I guess when I think of it on those terms, concert, there was some local things that would happen, and I would go out to some local, quote-unquote, concerts, but I really, when I answer that question today, I think about when Bill Graham was alive back in the Bay Area, real famous promoter, and he had a room that he booked a lot called Winterland Productions, and I think it was, I'm going to say it was Shauna Na headlining, Electric Light Orchestra, second bill, and I want to say Link Ray, but I'm not 100% sure on the Link Ray part of it.
And you're young at this time?
Oh, yeah. I was in my, in my early teens.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
Another fantastic song from Bend Sinister. That one's called Heard It All Before, as we're now focusing on our September show with Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver. We're now part of their outstanding Blue Light sessions. In fact, we just did our acoustic Q&A night with Best Night Ever this past weekend on Friday night. So much fun. Definitely one of those nights you'll walk away going like, man, what a cool night. Full band this past weekend, but next month, September 24th, the Saturday night, Ben Sinister singer Dan Moxon solo. He said he's going to play a bunch of his solo material, a bunch of Ben Sinister songs, and knowing Dan, I bet you can expect to hear a couple cover songs over the night as well. Ben Sinister, of course, has played for the podcast in the past. It's $20 this time around. You can grab tickets right now through Eventbrite Todd.ca. It is limited to 60 tickets sold, so you could wait for the door. It's $25 then, but why wait? Why not make sure you're good to go? Of course, there is a full bar. We do light it up these nights. A couple acoustic sets. Here's how it runs down. We do the first half hour, 40 minutes. Then we take a break for about a half hour. Then we have some drinks with everybody, kind of mingle and whatever. And then we bang off another half hour, 45-minute set. It is just a really, really fun night. I know I'm the host and it's narcissistic, but there's nothing even remotely close that's happening at other venues in Vancouver right now. I hope you can make it out. Again, September 24th, Eventbrite, Brite, eventbrite.ca. Coming up in about maybe 10 minutes with Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, fitness coach Alicia Bell talking about the things that you should be looking for in a personal trainer. That is powered by FKP MMA. My youngest guy, Levi, trains there a couple times a week and absolutely loves it. The chokeholds, the arm bars, the leg kicks, the crisp punches. They are Vancouver's #1 training destination. FKPMMA.com. And we'll get back to more first concert stories and some of our past sporting guests. You're going to know MMA fighter Benson Henderson, certainly from his time at the UFC, and currently part of Bellator MMA's roster. He holds victories over some rowdies, some of the elites, Frankie Edgar, Donald Cerrone, Nate Diaz, a monster in the sport. Check out Benson's first concert experience.
My first concert was actually, a Beach Boys.
No kidding.
With my mom. Well, yeah, Beach Boys when I was like, I don't know, 13, how to be like 13, 14 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
My mom and I were just like walking around, like, I think downtown Seattle or something like that for some reason. And then we happened to like come across like all these people getting together and doing something like, oh, we wonder what that is. And it ended up being a Beach Boys concert. So we kind of just walked in, got a couple tickets, and it was pretty cool. Had a good time.
We'll stick with MMA for a quick second here. You'll know Julia Budd. Well, first off, she's local. She trains out of the Gibson Kickboxing and Pancration Academy in Port Moody. She's a Muay Thai fighter, has been training MMA for well over a decade and dominated in Invicta, Bellator MMA, and currently fighting with the PFL, the Professional Fighters League.
Ooh, my very first concert was Tragically Hip.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. Great first show. Where was that?
Well, you know what? I went to, I can't remember. I was 12, and my cousin brought me in. The person that was supposed to go with him didn't end up showing up, so he brought me in. It was awesome. I'm somewhere in Vancouver. I don't know. I just remember catching the ferry in and seeing them, and it being such a cool feeling.
Yeah, Tragically Hip is Canada's house band.
Yes, exactly. And then I also saw like Ben Harper concert at some time around there as well.
Fantastic.
And that was an outdoor show somewhere downtown Vancouver. I don't know where, but my sister brought me to that one. So.
Did you catch Carmelita Jeter on the podcast? She's the fastest woman alive, a 3-time Olympic medalist. Her 10.64 second victory at the Shanghai Golden Grand Prix made her the second fastest woman ever in the 100-meter behind Florence Griffith Jr.'s world record of 10.48. Carmelita has retired from competition, and she's now the associate head coach for MSU.
My first concert was Crisscross.
Oh, nice.
I was about 12
great.
or 13, and my first concert was Crisscross. I'll never forget it. Jump, Mac Daddy make you jump, Daddy Mac and make you jump, Crisscross
so
make
good.
you. So that was my first concert.
Awesome. That's great. And if you follow football, specifically the CFL, the name Shaun White should be ringing a bell. That's because he's a longtime kicker in the league, signed with the BC Lions in 2007, traded to the Alouettes in 2011, played with the E's from, I guess, Eskimos and then eventually the E's from 2015 till last season. And now Shaun is back playing with your BC Lions.
Oh, it was Incubus.
Oh, great show.
Talib Kweli opened up, and it was Incubus. It was awesome. Morning Dew, I think it was.
Dude, yeah, those guys are amazing, man.
Dude, that was the coolest concert. That was my first one, and I haven't had one that topped it.
Red Truck Beer. You never forget your first truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
will stand here out of mind. Thoughts in a million unhealthy places while my heart stays in the same. Lost on you, trying to get well. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? You tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? Keep that in mind for the next time. There's a chair and it sits on your shoulder. I'm not trying to brush it off this time, I swear. You see these days, they've been so fucking hazy. Like all the love I thought we made was true, well I guess it wasn't true at all. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? You tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? You say that you're lonely, even though you got me by your side. How's it so easy for you to lie? Keep that in mind for the next time. It ain't fair, it ain't right. All these things you're doing to my mind. How's it so easy for you to lie? Tell me you need me and turn around and leave me high and dry. How's it so easy for you to lie? You say that you're lonely, even though you got me by your side. How's it so easy for you to lie? How's it so easy for you to lie? Keep that in mind for the next time. Oh, the next time. Keep that in mind for the next time. Yeah. Oh, the next time.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
When you start to talk fitness, and those at the highest level, with over 17 years coaching experience, Canadian IFBB figure pro Alicia Bell should be near the top. She's a kinesiologist, personal trainer, strength coach, and she's the head track and field coach at Ryerson University in Toronto. She's a former national level sprinter, having competed in the 2005 Canada Summer Games. You've seen her on the cover of two nationally published magazines, Muscle Memory and Impact Magazine. She's been in commercials that you've no doubt seen: Garnier Fructis, New Balance Canada, Fuel Foods, and the one for the Canadian legalization of marijuana. And when Alicia was a guest, we talked food and nutrition and looking after your body. She talked about cheat foods and which were the bad calories, how she became a brand ambassador for Puma Canada. She shared a near-death experience story. We talked binge-watching shows. Friends and family came up. And stop me if you've heard this before. Alicia talked about what you should be looking for in a personal trainer.
That's a good question. I feel like a lot of people just hire quote-unquote trainers without doing like a little bit of research. But I think you should definitely hire somebody who has experience, who has education, but not just that, but has like before and after photos to kind of back up their credibility and their clients. Like anybody can make you sweat, and the app can make you sweat, but to have a good personal trainer, you really need someone who's knowledgeable and knows how to apply that knowledge, and it's more than just working out. There's a science behind nutrition and exercise and programming, and it needs to be done in a certain way, and it needs to be specific towards you, and not just kind of like for a group or things like that.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Fuck your crew.
Yes, as radio programmers across the world cringe at the thought of playing Fuck You're Cool. I love that song, Folk Roadshow, and a relatively new song for them. If you recognize the singer's voice, that's because you do know it. It's Dominic Fricot, who of course we've played a lot over the years. Certainly a favorite of this podcast. He's now living over in Germany, but was actually recently in Vancouver and played a podcast show with JP Maurice at a really cool space in East Vancouver called Green Auto. So if you hear of a show happening there, 100% recommend. Great to see Dom. I mean, it had been years. I was talking with a buddy the other night about the Canucks and how I think they're going to fare this year. Coach Boudreau, of course, is back. Pedersen, Besser, Hughes, Demko. Will they make it to the playoffs? I'm like, I don't know, man. I do know that I'll be watching a bunch of games at our title sponsor this year, The Pint, Gastown, downtown Vancouver, 455 Abbott Street. I want to make sure we're showing these guys a bunch of love. I mean, as they've done with us over the years, they've sponsored this podcast a handful of times over the years, this time being outright title sponsors. The podcast powered by The Pint. And we don't take that lightly. So we keep an eye out on our social media feeds as we set up meetups. Come watch some Canuck games and Whitecaps UFC fights. Be great if you could make it out to a few of those nights. I know that we're going to try to do them at least monthly. As we're back to more guest stories about first concerts and some of our past entertainment guests, you'll best know Bobby Brown from starring in Ex-Wives of Rock and as that girl from Warrant's Cherry Pie video back in the day.
My first concert was Madonna.
Madonna. Okay, how old were you for that?
21.
Wow, talking about setting the bar out of the gate. Wow.
Yeah, I never went to concerts when I was in Louisiana. Like, I wasn't allowed to go.
Really?
So,
strict upbringing or what?
Not really that strict, but my mom was definitely like, you're not going to any concerts. Maybe she could see her future and she was scared. Who knows?
Did you catch this podcast? We had the first Canadian to walk in space. Commander Chris Hadfield has been a guest, retired astronaut, engineer, former Royal Canadian Air Force fighter pilot, all-around badass. Listen to Chris talk about his first concert experience.
That I went to. The first concert I went to, big-time concert, I think was in Montreal. I saw Long John Baldry, and he was warming up for Supertramp. So I saw Supertramp in Montreal a long time ago, and I've seen a bunch since. AC/DC in where were they? They were in Winnipeg, I think, or Regina, and the Nylons, and there, of course, I've been to so many since. And as a musician, getting to play with a lot of different bands too. To me, we have found musical instruments that are 40,000 years old. Where we're living in caves in Central Europe, and people were playing music back then to help them understand life. And so, to me, it's absolutely just fundamental to being who we are, and it's just natural that it's with us on board a spaceship as we leave Earth as well.
If you were a teenager in the late 80s, early 90s, you'll know Ed the Sock from his time as a VJ at Much Music, a staple of their programming for well over a decade, I think. Gray sock, green hair, a scowl, always smoking a cigar, take no shit approach to pop culture. Present day, you can find him on the FU network. And he's a pretty funny YouTube channel as well.
My first concert ever?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, it goes back, I think the Who's first farewell concert in Toronto. You know, when they decided they weren't going to tour ever again, and this was their big farewell, and they did it in Toronto.
And they actually
that was 9 farewell tours ago. I'm not quite sure. I've lost track.
Right, exactly. And that's what all bands do. Kiss just announced their, whatever the hell they're calling their tour. Is that actually going to happen? Ozzy Osbourne said he's doing the same thing. And, like, come on, guys. Who are you kidding? You're not kidding anybody.
Well, here's the thing, especially with Ozzy, but with bands that are getting older, they may think that they're being clever, and they're going to say it's a farewell tour, they're going to milk that, then they'll come back. But at their age, it may very well be a farewell tour, and they don't know it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, look at the Spice Girls are coming back. except at this point they're going to have to call themselves the Spice MILFs.
And you'll best know Cynthia Johnson as a keynote speaker and the marketing guru, the CEO of Bell and Ivy, the author of Platform on Personal Branding. Check out her hashtag BizTipChat on Twitter.
Oh, my first concert ever was Paul McCartney.
Come on, ever? Sir Paul McCartney? Your first ever? That's amazing. How old were you? Talk about setting a bar, Cynthia. Come on.
I know. I remember thinking, why are these people doing with these lighters? And it's because they have I don't know. I grew up in Las Vegas, and my dad runs. He's a technical director for a lot of the different venues there, and now he's at Caesar's Palace. So every time a show ended, we would get tickets that way. So yeah, I definitely got spoiled. You're spoiled when you leave a share show and you're like, I've seen better.
That's just shit.
Toddcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Hancock Auctions, Canada's largest memorabilia and collectibles auction house. Find them online at CanuckAuctions.com.
They are Cobra Ramon and a relatively new song for them called Black Mountain, and a really cool video for that song. Cobra was actually at the JP Dom Frico show just a couple of weeks back, and we were poking her saying, like, how cool would it be for you maybe to do one of these acoustic Q&A shows with us? So the seed has been planted. Report back with good news ASAP. I really hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. Personally, I love hearing about first concert experiences. I guess it's just because I'm a music nut, just a freak. Always have been, always will be. So thanks for being there, listening to some of our guests share some of their stories. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for being there. Please tell your friends if you like what you heard. Subscribe on iTunes or SoundCloud, Spotify. Please comment and rate our podcast. It helps with the searches. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. Of course, a huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. Find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you would like to sponsor, you can for as little as $10 a day. There is contact info at the homepage. Maybe we'll talk soon. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by The Pint, Vancouver's favorite sports bar at 455 Abbott Street, and online at vancouver.thepint.ca.
Goodbye, Kyle!
Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlotta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Now, before you go hunting for something else to listen to, let me make it easy. I'm Mike Carruthers, host of a podcast called Something You Should Know, and I speak with experts about fascinating things that affect your life, from human behavior, relationships, health, science, and everyday mysteries. We've been downloaded millions of times because every episode teaches you something you'll be talking about later. Open up Something You Should Know and give it one episode. You might just find your new favorite podcast.